Hey foodies, welcome into another video. I'm Das Food and I'm finally back from grabbing milk from the grocery store. Sorry it took me so long. I meant to make it a quick trip, but I saw almond milk and I started wondering how exactly do you milk an almond, and bingo bango bongo, 4 months just kind of happened. But I'm back now and that means it's time for more really stupid lists. Case in point, a Christmas video. Several days after Christmas. Yeah, punctuality was never really my thing, but making stupid lists is my thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it and let's do part 1 of giving a late Christmas present to every killer in Dead by Daylight. We are going to do 1 through 15, starting with number 1, the Trapper. When it comes to Trapper, I am going to give this good boy a do-over. I think that if Trapper could go back in time, he clearly wouldn't kill all of those miners. People who go into mines, not children. While it sounds strange to say this about a literal mass murderer, I don't think Evan McMillan is as evil as most of DBD's rogues gallery. He was an angry young man who made a terrible, horrible, very bad mistake and is now suffering for eternity for it. Plus, getting him a second chance may be his only pathway out of D tier at this point. At number 2, we have the Wraith, who I am giving a more stylish bell. Every time the Wraith uncloaks, people run away, and they're usually screaming. But would they do this if the bell sounded like, say, I don't know, Dolly Parton's 9 to 5? I doubt it. Survivors would be way too busy jamming to the catchy tunes to try and run away, and the Wraith would get to hear Dolly Parton every time he uncloaks, which instantly makes him the game's best killer. I will hear no debates on this. At number 3, we have the Hillbilly, who I'm giving a very special gift, that being the gift of family. Aww. That's right, his gift is Max and Evelyn Thompson as survivors. Things haven't exactly been great for Billy for about a year now, and while that's a fun callback to his lore, I'd like to throw him a bone. By introducing his parents as survivors, Billy could focus on what matters this holiday season, and spend some time with his family, slaughtering them like the animals they are. Oink oink and all that. Next up, we have the Nurse. This one is very simple. We are giving her the Notes app. It was all smooth sailing for Sally Smithson until her tome lore revealed that she was kind of sort of into some not so great stuff. Since then, supporting the Nurse has just felt kind of icky, gross, not okay. What Sally needs to do is to make a rushed Twitter apology so we can all start moving on. If that doesn't help, she can always do a dramatic YouTube apology video. Either way, she's got to do something soon, because there's only so many times we can say, but she made graduation. I mean S tier. We say she's in the S tier. At number 5, we have the Shape, who I am giving a break. Not only is Michael the longest tenured killer in Dead by Daylight, or at least the longest tenured licensed killer, but he's also the only one whose franchise has been most thoroughly run into the ground. After 5 years in Dead by Daylight and 3 recent films that were it's time to give old Mikey a break. Let him kick back, take a nap, relax. Plus, I bet his snoring sounds really funny in that mask. At number 6, we have the Hag, who I am giving the same gift I wish I could receive, an extra foot of height. The case of Lisa Sherwood is such a damn shame. She's got the perfect, and I mean perfect, arm for grabbing things, the claw. But it doesn't matter, because she doesn't come close to reaching the top shelf. Want to grab some paprika? Denied. Need a bit of Dijon? Not gonna happen. Higher player count? Never gonna reach it. Hag had so much potential, but she fell 10 or so inches short of grabbing it. Sad. Next at number 7, we have the Doctor, and I am giving Doctor an actual medical degree. I'm not saying Herman's self-conscious about it, but I mean, come on. The man's a fraud, and the other killers definitely roast him for it at the killer meetings. Kenneth Chase was an actual clown. Kovac Tarhosh was an actual knight. And Carmina Mora was an actual artist. But Carter? Nah, this dude's LARPing as something he's not. Give him an actual medical degree, and who knows, maybe he'll finally have something to actually giggle about. At number 8, the Ocho, we have the Huntress, who I am giving a Rosetta Stone subscription. There are many reasons Anna turned out like she did, but I think it's fair to say that the main cause has probably been her inability to communicate with other humans. With this subscription, she will be able to speak with her husband David Tapp in English, Mandarin, and maybe even Hungarian, if you believe learning that language is at all possible. By the way, this entry brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is... I'm just kidding. I don't get sponsors. Maybe that could be my late Christmas present. Moving on, we have the Cannibal, Bubba. And I am giving this big, beefy boy a lazy boy chair. Bubba spends a lot of time in the basement. Like, a lot of time. And while I'm an out and proud supporter of Bubba and his immense girth, he's spending way too much time standing. He's got loads of man meat, and you know his dogs have got to be barking. Thankfully, his problem is an easy one to solve. Just give him a cushy lazy boy and a TV with at least 2 channels, and this old boy will be good to go. Plus, I'm sure the survivors being camped in the basement would be glad to have a television too, so at least they could do something. Number 10, the Nightmare. Oh boy, my favorite killer. All right, Nightmare. Let's go with this one. You want to know what you can get, Freddy? You can get him out of my game. I hate this manlet. I hate his stupid little hat and his tattered ass sweater. I hate the way he walks. I hate that when he eats a meal, he probably chuckles to himself and says some goofy nonsense like, "I'll have what I'm having." I hate that he probably gets his financial advice from TikTok. I hate that his power is just a worse version of several cooler killers. I hate that he probably says Oregon instead of Oregon. I hate that he definitely corrects people when they don't pronounce foreign cities with the native accent. Like I'm so wrong for saying Barcelona instead of Barcelona, or Budapest instead of Budapest. I hate that this dude never brings anything to potlucks, but still eats everyone else's food. I hate that this dude has more Funko Pops than actual friends. I hate that this dude calls country music garbage and then jams out to Imagine Dragons like it's the best thing he's ever heard. I hate that he'll never be Robert. I hate everything about this killer, and the only gift I can give him is the advice to get to steppin'. Well, that or a gift card. When in doubt, I tend to go with a gift card. At number 11, we have the pig. And to the pig, I give a simple gift. I give the pig a hug. Amanda Young went from a troubled drug addict to a victim of Jigsaw. Despite surviving this, she was then made into a disciple of sorts after John Kramer preyed upon her fragile state. As if Jigsaw's mental torment wasn't bad enough, Amanda couldn't even get peace in death, seeing as though she was taken by the entity and forced into a lifetime of servitude. Well, really an eternity more than a lifetime, but that actually just makes my point worse. This girl has had it rough, and if I could give her anything, it would just be a hug. It would just be a, hey, it's gonna be okay. The poor girl deserves at least that much. Number 12, we have the clown, and when it comes to the clown, I don't know what to get him. I mean, I main the clown, so I already give him special treatment. Of course, just because I give him special treatment doesn't mean behavior does, and they haven't exactly treated my boy right over the years. But if they wanted to right their wrongs, I think the fix is pretty simple. Give the horse back. Taking Maurice was cruel and unusual. Wars have been started for less. Of course, I've been gone for 4 months, so maybe they added Maurice back and I'm just none the wiser. In that case, I don't know, get him some more grease paint or something. He's pretty good as is. Number 13, the Spirit. And I know, you guys aren't gonna like this one, but for the Spirit, I'm giving her pants. That's right, pants. At some point, this community's thirst has got to be reined in. For years, the game has gotten hornier and hornier. And at this point, there is one offender who clearly stands above the rest. We've all seen the montages of Spirit games that start off by showing her backside. And while there's no doubt that Ren's been doing her squats, it's time to stop. Slap a permanent pair of cargo pants on this girl and call it a day. Not only will she stop being ogled at by the drooling masses, but she'll have so much extra space for carrying things. At 14, we have the Legion. And obviously, 4 Legion members means 4 gifts. In order, these gifts are, number 1, Frank, who I am giving a treadmill. It's kind of sad that he can't run more than a few yards without suffering intense physical pain, even though characters like Jeff Jane and the Clown seem to be able to zoom around with ease. I know this technically applies to all Legion members, but Frank is the self-professed leader, and with that role comes increased scrutiny, or whatever Uncle Ben said. On the subject of Frank, we're actually giving Julie a long overdue gift, a personality outside of her connections to others. Sure, we all know that Julie is friends with Susie, and that she's in love with Frank, but what else can we say about this character? As it stands, she is a bit of a nothing character and could really do with some kind of characterization beyond having friends at court. Next, we have Susie, the most popular member of the Legion, and the one I'd like to give a bit of an upgrade. Some might seek to remove her braces, but those are a pretty iconic part of her look now, and I'd hate to force her to part with them. As a bit of a compromise, I'm instead looking to take the next logical step and give Susie a nice set of grills. These bad boys could be pure gold, diamond encrusted, and totally badass. Susie would go from being a geek to dropping the EEK in a heartbeat, and I am here for it. Lastly, we have Joey. This one's extremely easy. No treadmill, no additional personality, no grills. None of that stuff for Legion's best member. Instead, all I would give Joey is a nice wheelbarrow, one sturdy enough to carry around his massive ball. And lastly, we have the Plague. To close out this video, we are going to deviate from the norm and give Adiris the present of a mixed bag of sorts. She's got lots of needs, so we're gonna give her lots of gifts. Firstly, she gets some nice body and face lotion. As something of an expert on bad skin, seriously, my skin is as white as sheep's wool and as dry as the Mojave, I can tell you that lotion would go to good use on Adiris. She'll also get a personal assistant, one who can hold what remains of her hair whenever she yaks. This girl is always puking, so this assistant will have a pretty busy job. On that note, let's also give Adiris some breath mints, and then, bam! Suddenly, the Rule 34 for Plague seems a lot less strange and a lot less gross. But I'm looking to put out fewer 50+ minute videos, so that's going to do it for part 1 of this video. Make sure you tune in next week for part 2, where we will go over the rest of the killers, going from Ghostface to the Knight. If you enjoyed this, please do leave a like, leave a comment. I love reading your comments. They always make my day better, and I hope you had a good time here. Before I go, I do want to give a quick shout out to some of my students back in Budapest. I had a fantastic time teaching 6B, 6C, 7B, and 8C. I love you guys, and if you're watching this, I miss you. I hope you are having a wonderful time in your new school semester. Thank you so much for the memories. And to everyone who's not one of my students, but just a longtime viewer, or maybe you're new here. I mean, you could be new too. I love new viewers just as much. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I can't wait to make more memories with you. And hey, if you want to make some memories in person, or at least in real time, head on over to Twitch and follow me at DOS_food, where I usually stream 3 times a week. But that's gonna do it for me. Until next time, I've been DOS Food. Bye, friends.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my